Welcome to Chop It Like It's Hot. I'm your host, Markie McRae, and today we're making brunch. Let's get started with some baked mac and cheese. First, we're gonna boil some elbow macaroni. Gonna get that to a nice little boil. Pour in your noodles. Pour it all in there. And you want that to be al dente, so we're gonna recycle this. And then we're gonna melt some butter and grease our little pan. And honestly, it's already pretty soft. But I'm just gonna grease that. Also, make sure you wash your hands. I did. One cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna boil that. Let's go ahead and use this. Do that. So here I'm preparing the milk and egg mixture. You're just gonna get some eggs and some butter. You're gonna mix it together, and you're gonna get some evaporated milk, some whole milk, and some eggs, and you're just gonna mix it all together. And you're gonna put it on low heat on the stove. And once that's all done, you're also gonna add some cheese once it's on the stove. Crack my 4 eggs in here. And just give it a nice little mix. And we're gonna add this to our milk mixture that's on a low heat on the stove. You can just add, and let's check on our noodles. Let's give it a little, let's give it a little taste. See how hot it is? Let's give them a little longer. So now we're just gonna throw in some cheese and milk into our mixture. We're gonna make sure to leave a little bit left over so we can put it on top. Oh, this is so soft. It's good. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead, pour that in. Make sure you get some of that in there. And we'll leave a little for the top. A little stir. And these are ready. We're gonna bring it over here to the sink and get a nice colander. You always want to pour it away from you so that you don't get any backsplash. Really hot water. Oh yeah. I'm gonna pour in this mixture into here. I'm gonna give that a nice little mix. Right now, I'm just slicing some cheese so that we can lay this on top of our mac and cheese while we put it in the oven to bake for about 30 or 45 minutes. So now we're gonna go ahead and give this a nice little stir again. We're gonna go ahead and add this to the greased pan. And look at that, looks so good. So I'm just gonna sprinkle the rest of the cheese that we set aside on top of the macaroni and cheese. And we're gonna bake it at 350 degrees. Bake for about 30-45 minutes. All right, now that we did that, we gotta go get our appetizers ready for our guest, who'll be here in about 30 minutes. So for our appetizer, we're gonna have a charcuterie style baked brie and fruit, and it's gonna be really good. We got blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. We got some hot honey. We got some brie, That's gonna be good. Some brown sugar and some assorted crackers. We're gonna go ahead and open it up. And I love to get this double cream Brie. It's super creamy, as you would expect. And it's really decadent. That's the word. We're just gonna shave the top off. And it's gonna be really good. Yes, I don't know if that's the word, but just like slicing the little top so that you can get some of that brown sugar that we're gonna put on top in there. And you're gonna put it in a little dish like this. This is my favorite dish. I got it in a thrift store. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up this brown sugar. And I'm just gonna pour it on top. All right, and that's really all you gotta do because we're gonna pour some honey on once it gets out. Yes, you're gonna put this in the oven for about 350 and you're gonna leave it there for not too long, just enough for it to melt. And while that's in there, we're gonna go ahead and set up our fruit tray. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and give these strawberries, destem them. Let's see, where's my favorite little knife? And still save some strawberries for your guest. I'll go ahead and pour these berries in. Go ahead and put some crackers in. And some of my crackers are a little broken. So don't want to give those to my guests. They deserve the best. Remember that. Your guests deserve the best. All right. Now that we've done that, I think it's time to go check on our Brie. Yeah. So I can already tell that this is gonna be nice and gooey. I'm just gonna stick a knife in here to make sure. I want you to look at that. So let's go ahead and add that spicy honey on top. And just drizzle it. And it's gonna be so yummy. So here's our first meal of the day. An appetizer, baked Brie, and fruit. Here, why don't you guys just go ahead and take this and enjoy it somewhere.
This looks sweet. This is awesome.
Look at that.
Thank you.
What'd I tell you? They love it. In here, we have our pork carnitas with oregano, cumin, orange juice, chicken broth. And you just put it in there and it just does magic. And it slow cooks and gets all the juices together. And it's gonna be so yummy. We're gonna pull it at the end and maybe put it on, sear it a little bit and get it nice and juicy. It's gonna be good. So now that we got our guests their beautiful appetizer, we're gonna go ahead and move on to entrees. We're gonna pull those pork carnitas out of the slow cooker and we're gonna pull them together with 2 forks and let them simmer. You're just gonna move it to a plate. And you're gonna take these 2 forks if it's really hot. Minimum drippage. You're just gonna take it, and you're gonna do like this. You're just gonna take it, pull it apart, and it's gonna be really soft at this point, because it's been in there for about 4 hours already. And look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that baked mac and cheese out. Oh yeah, it's bubbling, which means it's ready. Oh, and would you look at that? Oh yeah. So we're gonna let that sit. And while this is here sitting, we'll go and eat with our guests. All right, so now we're gonna move on to entrees while our guests eat their appetizers. So we're gonna be making French toast. We've got some milk, cinnamon, vanilla, eggs, brioche bread and a little bit of salt. We're gonna first add a cup of milk. And honestly, this will make about 8 servings, so I'm gonna double it. And my eggs. Perfect, it cracked for me. And then a tablespoon of vanilla. That's good. And we're gonna get some cinnamon. Nice. We're gonna beat all this up. Just gonna whisk it, beat it, whatever you like to call it. And while that's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and heat up the stove to about medium-high heat. And we're gonna butter our skillets. And this is perfect for making in big batches. One, you can serve a bunch of people, and also if you just like want to do it for your own, that's a lot of butter, but you honestly just need enough to grease the pan, and we'll come back to it because we're going to be using all of this probably. And so this is what you gotta do. You take your brioche bread. It has to be brioche. You have to get French bread. You have to stop using white bread because it's not as good. You're gonna take it, and you're gonna dip it, and this is gonna be a nice little custardy taste, and it's gonna be so good, and you're gonna throw it right into that pan, and you're gonna cook each on for about 4 minutes on each side, and you can put about 2 in each pan if you have a large enough skillet. So I'm gonna be making 4 at a time because we got a lot of guests. Make sure it doesn't burn, which it did. Yeah, no, it's perfect. Your guests will love it, I promise.